Y'all, Wizard101 just updated, and it's a gigantic update. This is something that a bunch of people have been waiting for. The standard mode for the Nightmare Dungeon is finally out. If you've been living under a rock, in the most recent update, the final dungeon of Wallaroo was released, but the more challenging version, the challenge mode version, was the one that they released first. Now, the default standard mode is out, which means if you're someone who maybe wants the final gear in the game, but doesn't want a crazy challenge, this is a dungeon for you. Challenge mode is pretty restrictive. It basically doesn't allow spells that are banned in PvP. That means that, you know, any item card from any piece of gear that's really good but banned in PvP would not have been able to be used in challenge mode. We're talking about Mass Feint, we're talking about Incendiate, we're talking about the 20% backdraft. Additionally, potions are allowed, there's no timer that stops you when you're out of time. The standard mode version of this is way more doable, especially if you're like, you know, a max level, you got decent stats. But that probably begs a question. If challenge mode has all these restrictions, why would anyone run challenge mode? To answer that question, it is important to note that I think this is the first dungeon that we've ever seen where the challenge mode is actually worth your time. Big roasts, I'm not gonna lie, but up to this point, they've actually like put out challenge modes for a bunch of things that honestly I haven't interacted with. But this challenge mode is serious. So basically, the reason you want to farm this dungeon is because it drops all of the new reaver gear. There's an offensive set that's, I would argue, the best for PvE unless you want shad. And there's a defensive set that gives shads, and you basically need it to hit the resist cap for every school. So this gear is extremely game changing. Right now, it represents the most offensive and defensive set that you can get. There's two sets of drop that you can craft and stuff. And the way the drop model works is in standard mode, if you do it without all these restrictions, every time you win, you'll get 6 Dream Water and a chance of up to 2 Reaver pieces. Challenge mode is very different. You're guaranteed 1 Reaver piece, could get a second Reaver piece, and you get 16 Dream Water per win. So the difference in drops is pretty serious. However, a lot of people do these dungeons to get the badge so that they can craft the stuff from the gear. That's a thing in Wallaroo. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I no lifed this. I got the defeat Malice 25 times badge while challenge mode is out, no standard mode, but you can unlock this badge by doing standard mode 25 times as well, and by doing that, you unlock the recipes. Now, here's where it gets interesting. In my opinion, these recipes are way bigger than most in terms of scope. You need 80 Dream Water per thing that you want to craft, meaning when you're doing these 25 runs, if you're trying to get a piece of every gear, like if you have a lot of wizards on your account, you're going to want to be A, getting a lot of Reaver gear period, and B, getting a lot of Dream Water for when it's time to craft this stuff. After doing challenge mode 25 times, I barely got enough to craft almost everything that I needed. And out of all of this gear, right, robes, wands, boots, and hats that you see, I'm still missing about 5 items. And keep in mind, I already had extra of this Dream Water reagent. I'm completely out now, but I had extra of this. So I had to literally get 16 to 17 Dream Water per win, and also farm Dream Water from other sources, and I'm still missing tons of items on this account, which has like 6 wizards. So what I would probably argue is that standard mode is a lot better if, 1, you just can't beat the challenge mode, then whatever, you don't have a choice. But 2, if you have 1 wizard, not like a bunch of wizards where you want to craft a bunch of things. I would argue if you do standard mode 25 times, you'll probably get enough Dream Water to craft 3 or 4 pieces of gear, because, you know, you still get like 6 per run. That's still, you know, it's still like 150 Dream Water. You probably have some Dream Water lying around. You could make like, you know, at least 2 to 3 items. You'll probably get your school dropped every now and then as well. But if you're trying to make gear for every single wizard, I think the challenge mode is way more worth it. I'm saying this simply off of this 80 Dream Water thing. It just takes a really long time to get it, and I was unable to get this much Dream Water until I ran the challenge mode for the Nightmare. I think it is really interesting to see what they did with badges this update, right? Like, the fact that you can, you know, let's say that I wanted something that Engineer Montgomery dropped. Well, I have to defeat him 10 times, and then if I get enough Dream Water from this world, by spending time in this world, I can craft anything from this boss. The same can be said for any boss you defeat enough times to get the recipes from what they drop. However, what they did with the Malice is really different, right? The actual recipes cost so much that they actually made the challenge mode worth farming. And I think beyond just celebrating this update for what it is, which is, you know, an approachable dungeon for a lot of people, I think what this really shows is a transition in how gear is going to be gotten for the foreseeable future. I think compared to Novice, where your drop, if you got it, was fairly random, like as in you could literally farm endlessly if you were just unlucky, Wallaroo gives you guaranteed results, and in many ways, it rewards people that actually seek a challenge. For the first time, I've seen in a long time in this game. And I do think that's pretty cool because I feel like I don't know, for me, I thought because I do have another account that I was just gonna do standard mode 25 times and just, you know, the only benefit that I had for doing challenge mode was that, you know, I got the gear a little early. I thought that was the only advantage challenge mode is gonna give me with this instance, because that is the only advantage any of these badges would have given me. But just based on their drop rates and these recipes, I think now we have, you know, like a tale of two worlds. You could either be super casual with it, or you could grind out a little bit quicker by challenging yourself. There were also other things in this patch that I think are extremely important. You know, a lot of the glitches, I think the storyline glitches, a lot of them got fixed. The fleet glitch and the crystal caves glitch. There's also multiple PvP glitches, including a fire shark glitch, a gravestorm glitch, and a troll glitch. Yes, that many glitches, but the things that they couldn't fix are now banned in PvP, and the things that they could fix are no longer able to be done in PvP or anywhere. And I'll say this now that things are fixed, I have really enjoyed the nightmare part of this dungeon, but I have found myself so frustrated this week. The servers have been mad dodgy. There have been multiple glitches that it took them 10 days to fix. And I'm not really sure how comfortable I feel about individuals that know when glitches happen holding side activities like PvP hostage for that long. And at the end of the day, I know it's just a game, bugs happen, people are gonna be, you know, funny haha with exploits and glitches, whatever. But I really think this week would have been like an elite week on Wiz if not for all of this. So I really hope we do get some sort of statement. Or maybe they change something about their approach so that weeks like this can just be about the good stuff, not the weird ass glitches that ruin everybody's game. The TLDR is though, if you haven't been able to play the game, especially for the past 10 days because of a glitch, it's resolved now. So whether you're casual, competitive, PvP, PvE, whoever you are, this is probably the most functional update we've gotten in like a month. So I would enjoy it while I can. Let me know what you guys think of the way they've organized standard mode. Do you guys think that 6 dream water and a chance of a reaver gear is comparable to the 16 or 17 that you get from challenge mode with guaranteed reaver gear? What do you guys think of the recipes? Do you think they're too crazy? If you're not someone who is doing challenge mode, what is your strategy for getting dream water? Are you just gonna get the badge and then farm your dream water from some other source? I'd love to hear all of y'all's thoughts on this, especially, you know, if you love challenge mode, if you maybe hate challenge mode, all opinions are welcome. Let me know what y'all think. Drop a like if you enjoyed, leave a sub if you're new, and as always, if somebody hasn't told you you're awesome today, they doing something wrong. Stay awesome, see y'all soon, and yeah.